I'm the Vac here.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Tokusatsu, we're going to be discussing how to watch the Trigger movie, me making a correct prediction for once, and the gays. But before all that, Buster, how are you doing?
Not great, but now that I've had this Coke and I'm on this podcast, I'm doing pretty better now.
Aw, buddy. Oh, buddy pal. Aw, you make me so happy.
Yeah, you too. How are you doing? Are you having a better week than I am?
Maybe. Probably. I don't know.
I'll take that as a yes.
Good Christ. Well, you know how our listeners can have a good week?
How?
They can support us here at Modular Media because this podcast only happens with Modular Media, the creative co-op that we're both members of and that this podcast is hosted on. So if you want to get more of this podcast, please give us a like, comment down below to help us out in the algorithm, subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications so that you get every episode of TWIT and all the other podcasts we do here at Modular Media as they come out. Though that's just if you're a YouTube listener. If you're listening on an actual podcasting platform, please follow us there to help us out with that algorithm, and follow us on Twitter for updates on what we're doing, when we're doing it, like the fact that, oh, hey, the show got delayed this week. You probably were just sitting around yesterday wondering where the show was if you weren't following us on Twitter. So go follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media and join the subreddit to post memes r/Modular Media.
Yeah,
But
we even interact on the subreddit occasionally if we have memes to post.
That's true. But it's enough plugging and shoving. Let's get into the news. Buster, are you excited for Zenkaiger versus Kiramager versus Sempaiger?
Kinda. Okay, I love Kiramager, haven't finished.
Okay, because we got a poster and a new trailer and an announcement of two actors that are going to be in this movie. Because we've known for a while.
I do think more actors are going to be here. These are just the only ones we're going to see the faces of. The rest will do voiceover.
Yeah, because it was announced that we will be getting full face cameo returns for Lupin Red and Gokai Red.
So much for Ted Gokaiger being the finale of Gokaiger.
Well, look at it this way. We're finally going to have Zox and Marvelous meet!
Yeah! If they miss the opportunity to meet again, I'm going to be so pissed.
Oh, instant 0 out of 10. Instant.
Instant. Like, I know, like, it'll be great to see, like, hopefully Gokai Red and Lupin Red interact since they're both thieves. But, like, come on, Zox and Gokai Red, you gotta have at least a scene together.
Oh, God.
Just like.
What if their part of the movie is just a subplot off to the side of them trying to constantly steal something away from each other?
Oh, that would be so good. And also, Stacy's gonna be in it, and that's pretty dope. Like,
yeah. Stacy's just officially a good boy now, even though his suit is like the most evil-looking thing we've had in a while.
Well, to each their own, I guess, because some people are thinking that I disagree with these people, but some people think the Donbrothers CGI looks evil, and I'm like, what are you smoking?
Yeah, they got some good ganj over there, but also in this poster for the movie, we've got a bunch of other previous Sentai Reds who look like they just came out of a karaoke bar.
Yeah. Is it just me, or does the Go Buster Red suit look like super swole?
It looks like it might be a little stretched out, maybe from those Beast Morphers reshoot.
Oh yeah. No, didn't they recreate the suits for Beast Morphers though?
I heard they recreated the monsters and the Megazords, but I'm not sure about the actual Rangers because I think they keep those pretty freshened up for stuff like this.
Good point. Yeah, but yeah, I just love that image of all the Reds. It's like the most gleefully just it's like wholesome yet hilarious thing I've seen on a Sentai poster.
Yeah. This is a pretty solid poster, pretty solid teaser trailer. Nothing we didn't already know except for, hey, Lupin and Gokai Red are here. But yeah, I'm still cautiously optimistic about this movie.
Optimistic?
Sorry, I had a Rich Evans moment there. I'm gonna have to watch Kiramager before this comes out.
Oh, you're gonna love it. I think it's written by Naruhisa Arakawa, who also wrote Gokaiger. I think you're gonna like it. Very like back to basics, but still like what on the core of what makes Sentai great.
Yeah, everything I've heard about Kiramager's story, I like. It's just like the suits and the civilian costumes they have like looked really stupid to me initially.
I disagree. I think Kiramager's like has some of like a really nice aesthetics, but
Well, we'll know whenever I eventually get around to it. But
Yeah,
more
probably
on
have to get
that
around
later.
to it like when you get to April, May, whatever, because
Yeah.
that's when
Well,
the decent.
in the
Speaking of
meantime,
movies,
we gotta watch episode Z. Are you hyped for
uh,
episode Z?
I would be in literally any other situation.
All right. Well, are you ready to pay $5 to watch episode Z?
Yes.
All right, because you're gonna have to go to a
Yeah.
special
We
service
already knew
thing.
about this. Cause yeah, basically, like we can also pay extra money, like around $12 to also to access a March Connect party, like a watch party for the movie. Not Connect party. What the hell is a Connect party? Like Xbox Connect?
I don't know. But I don't like watching stuff with other people typically, unless it's like something like wrestling, like a sporting type thing, where part of the fun is having the hype of other people, like you're in a crowd.
Yeah.
Or like a big tentpole movie. Like I'll go see one of the bigger Marvel movies or Star Wars movie in the theaters for that kind of experience. But like everything else, I'm like, I wanna be locked in my room with my computer and no one else. I wanna absorb this media properly.
Fair. Fair.
I'm
I
not
like.
going to that Connect thing.
Yeah. I'll probably just pay the $5 too, just because money's a bit like I want to spend less. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a 48-hour rental. I hope the Ultraman Connect site works because it wasn't really being nice to me last time.
Oh dear.
So I just hoping like they get their shit together with that, especially because let's be honest, I'm most likely not gonna like this movie as much as other people because I do not like Trigger. Zed's in the movie,
Yeah.
that's good, but Trigger's still like the vocal point.
Yeah, it's I don't know, I'm not super looking forward to this, but I will do it if only for this show. And I mean it's only $5 and what else am I gonna do with my Friday night? Go out with a woman? Ha 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 he said in
Yeah, I've seen your Reddit replies.
Oh, have you? Fuck.
uh,
Anyways,
yeah.
let's talk about good things in my life, which is the fact that last week I completely properly predicted that there's
This was
going to
announced
be
last week.
not before the show.
Yeah, like when after Vail was debuted, they showed okay, he's coming to the show. Like we already, they just revealed the casting. They're just like spin-off incoming. Like right after Vail debuted, and people were like, ah, come on, and then then we got the casting for the Vail spin-off.
Well, fuck me, I guess. Fucking Kamen Rider Vail spin-off episode. It's gonna be on Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club. Uh, it's not going to be Genta Igarashi, not the way we know him, but he will be his backstory will be explored in a certain interesting way. And we'll probably cover it whenever it gets subbed because it's
Yeah.
coming out on March 27th. And I think I forgot to mention episode Z of Ultraman Trigger drops this Friday. But on March 27th, we're getting the Vail spin-off episode. And sometimes this stuff gets sub quick. Sometimes it doesn't get sub till well after the show. So we'll talk about it whenever we can talk about it if we're still around at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about the best thing to happen all fucking week, which is Flint finally became a ranger. It finally happened, everybody, at a fucking stage show.
Yeah, I mean they usually pull stuff like this. I mean Kamen Rider Tassel happened at a stage show, so
Yeah, but the official
it's
name,
an okay suit.
yeah, the official name is Tukai Flint. Her roll call is Invention Power Tukai Flint.
Yeah.
Um, and it's basically a purple repaint of Two Kaiser with reddish pink trim and like those shoulder tassel pauldron things that
Yeah, I
marching
like how
band
they
uniform.
incorporated her outfit, like her civilian outfit, into suit. That's really neat.
Yeah. And other than that, it's pretty much just Two Kaiser. But like, hey, it's a unique suit. They finally did the thing, and like, I'm hoping against hope that this is like how. Okay, so Buster, you don't know this, but WWE does this thing where they have these things called house shows, which are literally just wrestling shows at smaller venues that they don't record. They just do for people who buy tickets to the show, and they take that as an opportunity to experiment around and try different things and debut gimmicks. I'm hoping this is like that for Sentai, where they're like, okay, people have been saying they want Flint as a ranger. Let's see how people actually react to it before we put this in a potential versus movie, please.
Yeah. Now here's also a thing. Speaking of, we already got that kind of with like Zangetsu Kachidoki. Keep that in mind because he debuted in like a giant stage show, like a more high budget production than usual for a Kamen Rider stage show.
Yeah.
Also, what I wanted to say before I was busy like people talking in my room, but like about the Vail spinoff. When you're speaking of subs, the O's movie is actually out, and we're gonna cover that next week whenever it gets subbed, or if next week or wherever we can get subbed. So it's like we're gonna have a lot of movies to talk about soon.
Yeah, it was special. It's a special time for specials.
Yeah. So everyone getting that tax season money.
I still haven't done my.
Go do them.
It's in the plans, it'll happen.
Yeah, fair after this podcast.
But no, it's a good looking suit, and like the only downside to this happening is just like, oh, we didn't actually get to see it, and like it was another wave of me going like, man, I really wish they had just go on wings the whole Goldstrucker family.
Yeah, that probably would have fit better, and because Flint basically already has like enough equal development as Zox, so
yeah, they could have done it. They just didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
it's almost like Toei's a little sexist or something.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of things that might be problematic, Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2. We're covering.
Go ahead. That's just a funny translation. Funny transition. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's okay. Let me actually look up what episodes these are. So first up, we're covering Tiny Trouble. What the hell happened in this? Is this the one with the CGI puppet?
Yes, this is the one where they introduced the Pachazord.
Yay! That was a cute episode. Much better Aeon focus than we deserve, to be honest.
Yeah, this is a total 180 from what we had been talking about him last week, where he makes mistakes, but he learns from them, and he's never treated as in the right. This is legitimate. He thinks something is one way, finds out it's another, and because of it, he grows as a person. What a fucking revolutionary concept for a focus episode.
It's also way more entertaining. The CGI in the Pachazord's actually pretty decent. They actually had a model on.
Go ahead.
They actually had a model on set to help the characters interact better with it.
Mm-hmm. And then the actual render itself, even with Donbrothers going on, I gotta say, best CGI I've seen in a TV Toku.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing how Power Rangers is kind of outdoing Sentai and CG, but hey, what you gonna do?
Yeah. But no, this is a really, really solid episode. I dug it a lot.
Yeah. Trying to remember what happened. We also get the punchy armor and the punchy Zord. That's neat.
Fine. It's good toys.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a very simple episode. Honestly, I'm glad. It's because it's been. I haven't watched these episodes since I binged them all when they came out, so it's been a while. I do have more things to say about the next one, Stitched Up. This was cute.
This episode was great. This is honestly the standout episode of the season so far.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's what I first thought when I finished this episode. Oh, so they did make an episode addressing the skirt. Because a joke someone made or apparently really happened, but I don't believe people are that stupid enough to think it is. But then again, this is the Power Rangers fandom. They keep disappointing me. That there was apparently people were oh, they didn't build up to the skirt rip. And it's what build up do you need?
Yeah, that whole controversy was dumb. But this episode was great. If not only for the fact that, oh my god, Izzy and Javi have two living parents.
Oh yeah,
that are together.
That was a shock. I was is that Ollie's mom? And it's
yeah, and it's the last time we keep in mind the last time we had two living parents in a Power Ranger show was Tyler, and they technically weren't together. And the last time we had living parents that were together on screen was fucking, I don't know, Kimberly?
I'm so sorry.
That's cool.
Okay, so yeah, it's nice to have two living parents, and what were we discussing while I was gone?
Just the fact that Izzy and Javi have two parents, and they're not divorced or separated or anything, and they're alive.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty wholesome.
And like they act like normal parents in this episode too. Like we get to see a little bit of Warden Garcia just being a dad.
Yeah, a good dad instead of a prick. And also like how it's like they kind of like the conflict could have easily been like forced, but it felt very natural. It felt like because
like the
sometimes
whole episode could have been, I don't want to dress. I'm gonna make you a dress. I don't want to dress. I'm gonna make you a dress. But instead it was Izzy overreacts to an honest mistake. And like that's a real thing that happens to people and kids can relate to and learn from.
Yeah, I know, like I'm really dreading people calling Izzy stupid in this episode, but it's like we all make those mistakes, you know. And it's very and she does learn from it, you know. I think that's the important thing. Characters learning from their mistakes.
Yeah, and also like just fucking her and Fern are super cute. Like they're a great wholesome couple in Power Rangers, and it's amazing we took this long to have that with an ongoing couple. And it took it being a same-sex couple. Like, they couldn't even do that with straight couples for the longest time.
Yeah, it's just nutty. And I'm just like, I really hope this does lead to... Because, like Calvin and Haley and Ninja Steel were, like, together, but they weren't, like, having any romance plots that were, like, compelling.
They were together like two models in a picture frame are together.
Yeah, that. That's a good analogy. What else happened? Also, Santara debuts in this episode, I think.
Yeah, the Void Knight's main squeeze, who may be fucking more evil than he is.
Yeah, like I can fix her boyfriend and I'll make her worse.
Yeah, because he's full on like, oh, I just wanted to heal you and let's get the fuck out of here now. And she's like, no, revenge.
And honestly, what she's saying, like in these episodes about like I want to destroy all humans, that surprisingly lines up with the crazy Real Soldier finale footage of nearly everyone on Earth being in sleep. So, you know, the little like, I keep calling Real Soldier's finale kid-friendly end of Evangelion, even though that's totally not the case. But like, it just gives me those vibes, you know.
Okay, I haven't seen Real Soldier, and I'm still not watching ahead.
Yeah.
So I've only seen these episodes and nothing past them. But I'll probably watch the next free tomorrow on a break or something.
Yeah, and now for the eventful one, Jam Session. No, in concept, I would hate this episode because it's a big Zord debut that's treated as a one-off plot. But it works well. It works okay.
I like 95% of this episode.
Is the 5% the stupid 2000s rocker character?
No, he's fine. He's goofy, but he's fine. He's a Power Rangers one-off character. Like that's how they are sometimes.
Yeah.
What I didn't like was that the entire flashpoint of this plot and like coup de grace of Javi and Warden Garcia's arc entirely relies on Izzy being a complete idiot for 2 seconds.
Okay, I'm willing to defend her on this because a lot of teenagers are like, they kind of space out, they don't, like, especially Gen Z, but like, yeah, that is kind of like over-explaining just a simple mistake, so good point.
Yeah, but like literally, because like I said I might watch the next batch, I watched this batch on a lunch break at work, and I literally remember during that scene where she's fucking watching the stream of Javi playing music, right next to her dad who hates Javi playing music. I literally spit out whatever bite of food I had and went, "What are you doing?"
I hope no coworkers are in there because they'll just be like, "Dude, it's Power Rangers."
I don't eat with people.
Good. I don't know why I find that funny. Also, Void Queen debut.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion remains unchanged from the trailer. It's a good suit. It's fine that they're using it, but like, I wish it was in TOKUger.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, I'm still disappointed that, like, I kind of wish they, I'm kind of disappointed of, like, how they decided to use it. Because I feel like they could have, like, made, like, a cool, like, way of how she got the suit to make it visually distinct. But no, she just went into a tube. And as we're going to find out later, I'm not going to say, like, to be vague, someone else gets into a tube and becomes a Real Soldier model. That's the point. Like,
Yeah.
well, so
it could have been more interesting. Like, it's just an After Effects wipe.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about transformation. Talk about why it's the TOKUger specifically. But then again, that's just me wanting to overanalyze.
Yeah,
Like, because
and I mean,
again, it's a good suit. it clashes aesthetically with everyone else. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. And like, I can't remember if I said this or not when we got the trailer, but like, to those of you who saying like this and Cosmo Royale means they're not planning on adapting Tokuger, motherfucker, you can still adapt Tokuger easy. You just have to focus on Schwartz and Zed more.
Yeah, and besides, they're like if Dino Fury and Beast Morphers are in education, they're willing to do villain like original scenes in their base.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. And this episode was totally fine, aside from that one big nitpick I have.
Yeah.
The Terra Free Sword is cool, but I don't think I'd buy it.
Yeah, like honestly, I think like I would buy it more if there was a more intense story arc behind it. Mm-hmm. But like it still works as an episode. It's still a cute episode.
But before we move on, though, I do need to ask you a very important question.
What?
Are you a Pan fan?
Pan fan?
That's what that's what the rocker guy says. He's a Pan fan because he likes pancakes.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that guy's I'm sorry. I thought of a stupid Persona video game joke. I'm not gonna make it.
Okay.
Because I know you hate video games. But yeah, this is probably the batch of Dino Fury where I was like, yeah, I'm getting into this, and then it's like the next few episodes. Not to spoil it, but they get some pretty good episodes in there.
Mm. Well, anyway.
All right, now on to Revice. Oh no, I think this might be the first episode of Revice I'm not 100% on, but let's go. Kamen Rider Revice, episode 26, Showdown, Farewell, the End of Light and Darkness.
I really enjoyed this commercial for the Vail spinoff.
I did not like this episode, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not great. It's just...
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna be in this slump for a while. Kind of, I feel like this happens with like nearly every Rider series, and like Revice was gonna stumble in some places eventually. It was getting like, okay, this is too good to be true. There has to be catch, and here's the catch.
We just had a big coup de grace that was super awesome, and now they gotta start building again, and it just sucks that like that comes at the same time as they finally give us Daiji focus.
And I'm gonna be honest, the Daiji focus ain't that great.
Yeah, like it was literally we've won, but at what cost?
That just with Vice and Iki's relationship, there's like some thematic like themes of buddies and trust, and demons, and like how close these two are, and like how they're one. I can't really sniff out anything with Daiji and Kagero, because I just felt like we're fighting because one is good and one is evil.
Yeah, and it felt like once you get past his jealousy over Iki being picked to be a rider or becoming a rider because he didn't get picked, but once you have him get over his jealousy of that and like become a rider in his own right, it's like, what's the fucking point of Kagero again?
Yeah, it really feels like, and it's like I feel like there could have been a more fleshed out. They could have fleshed out Kagero more. But, like, they just didn't. And there was that really cool scene in, like, I think it was, like, the 15th episode or so, where he was like, who's gonna eat the curry? And that was, like, I can't believe that's the peak of a character in Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I don't know, it feels like a bit of a major missed opportunity, which sucks because, like...
There's great visuals, like, the whole, like, the wings and the cracked helmet, but it just feels empty, because there's not really, like, a story, and honestly, the fight choreography was kind of lame. And
like I'm just not a huge fan of the Holy Live suit in general. I thought the transformation was cool, but like I don't know, Live just hasn't had good looking forms. They've been okay, but not like, ooh, wow, that's a nice suit. You know what I mean?
Like I thought I was gonna love Holy Live, but it was just it's better than regular Live, but it's not that great. I still think Evil has the best of Daiji/Kagero's form. Kind of now the suit is gone. It had, man, like, I feel like we're going to be in this slump for a while, because it feels like Revice is just kind of going through the motions, and there's going to be a while before another big reveal.
Go that far. I think we're at the bottom of the valley, and now we got to start climbing up to the peak again. Yeah,
I'm not saying, like, the next episode's going to be worse. I'm just saying it's going to be a while before we get to, like, Revice again. You know, just, it's going to be a while before we get to the highs of the best of Revice.
Yeah, but that's fine. You gotta have your valleys in order to get to your peaks.
Yeah, and it's like I just wish there was like better narrative cohesion or thematic importance or a message behind Kagero and Daiji. We need to do a Holy Live, so fight.
You gotta sell a toy.
Yeah, wasn't that great? Mm-hmm. Now for something I'm completely great on. Avatar Sentai Donbrothers, episode 2, Big Peach, Small Peach. I'm loving this show, man. It's so good.
Oh,
Oh, you're not a fan?
I mean, it's not bad, but just like there is too much fucking shit going on per episode. They need to slow the hell down. Like, I feel like I'm watching 3 different Focus episodes at the same time.
Here's the thing, I kind of like that for my ADHD brain, I just like yes, more, faster, faster, and I'm just like, so just like this, just the multiple focuses help me, and it's like creating an air of mystery and stuff, for me at least, because it's like okay, yeah.
Yeah, I get that, and it's definitely going to be a great moment once the team like finally gets together. Once we get that that Jetman moment,
Yeah.
But for now, like you said, it really appeals to you because you're ADHD. I'm OCD, so like I'm sitting here like you get 10 minutes into the episode and like okay, we just had our Oni sister plot. Now let's go to oh fucking what's his name,
Kiji?
the Pink Ranger. Yeah, Kiji. Let's go to Kiji brother. And I'm like, will you shit or get off the pot? Like, damn it.
All right, but yeah. Also, I really like Kaito. Like Kaito is just like in the background, but he's just like a chill guy that's just kind of like the Ernie of like Ernie from Power Rangers of the show, and I kind of like that. Like,
because he's still in the same cafe set. They just redressed it to look like an actual cafe.
Yeah, and he's just like chilling, you know, to just talk about people, talk to like Odie's sister and stuff, and
he's reading her manga.
Yeah, that's where we get the Zenkuro Zenkai line from the trailer. But yeah, that's an interesting way of incorporating it. And then Kiji Brothers segment was just wholesome as heck.
Yeah, his segment was really good. It delivered on the promise of that character. I definitely want more from him.
It's a great establishment, and I just love like when he saves his wife. It's just and it's just like the fact that they're recently married. That's an interesting dynamic actually, because it's like he's kind of riding a high, but he's also like, you know, having to like now like prepare stuff, you know. Like he probably
not to make a pun, but they're in their honeymoon phase.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that might, like, with Inoue and, like, the fact that Shirakura said in an interview, tragedy will come to the Donbrothers, after they transform. I feel like that probably set up for some drama. Inoue loves his drama.
Yeah.
And then, Inuzaki, that's the character's name, Inu Brother's name. He didn't get much, but it was a good tease for, like, what we could expect out of him.
Yeah, he's still fairly interesting. I want more. I want to figure out these characters properly.
Yeah, I do feel like I have a good grasp on Momotaro though. Because I feel like he gets like a majority of the focus in this episode, and I already loved him in the first episode where he's just like an egotistical bastard, but he's also like a nice like guy who's like wanting to form connections with others to wish them luck. And then this one, I get like we see a bit more of his naive like instincts. We see a bit more of like his caring. It's just he's working at this basically red Amazon like delivery service, and he's like trying to help friends. Like the fact that they like bring back rock paper scissors. I'm not sure if that's a callback to Zenkaiger, or where it's like the entire final battle was solved through rock paper scissors, or if it's just like, oh, we want to have rock paper scissors because
it's like a lot of people play rock paper scissors now.
That too, yeah, yeah. Just like some people, like I just see people, the Sentai fans, when they see people playing rock paper scissors in the street.
You're turning into you're turning into the Charlie Day meme.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like I have an idea of who Momo Itaro is, but I want the other characters to find out who he is and have some proper conversations on him so we can get some confirmation on some of this stuff we're assuming.
Fair. I just like because they're doing a lot of the stuff that like they're kind of, I like the things that they're setting up. And like, granted, this could all fall apart if what's setting up is like just falls apart. It just isn't good. But I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling, honestly. Because like Inoue, like he's not. I don't think he's the greatest at exposition and plots, but he's fantastic with characters. At least that's how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much we've talked about it in the lead up to Donbrothers, but traditionally, I'm not a huge Inoue fan. Like, I don't hate him like some people, but he's just not my guy. So like his writing has been okay in this show so far, but it's just been okay to me. Like, if I was a free episode rule kind of guy, I feel like I'd be really worried I'd have to drop the show next.
Yeah. Well, like, honestly, like, I'm just already hooked. Like, hooked, line, and sinker. Like, I'd say I'm like, you know, Jetman's my favorite Sentai season, so, of course, I consider myself, like, a casual Inoue fan. Not, like, hardcore, but, like...
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I'm really liking. I also like how I didn't mention this the last episode, but miscommunication is a trope. He does. I like that's how that's incorporated into the plot, where it's like, oh, they're just leaving. After they beat the monster, they all vanish, and I like that how they incorporate miscommunication into that a trope does. That's usually out of just oh, these characters are at the wrong place, wrong time, but they do it in a way that makes sense in this world and plot. That's really clever. And then the twist of the Dawn altars, that was cute. They're just these.
It's weird. It's weird how it's a small thing instead of a big thing.
Yeah. It really does. That really does feel like the Inui touch, because an infamous thing Inui does, he does not like toyetic shows.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, literally the Fi's Axel power up was just tossed. And
I think I got to that point in Fi's.
Yeah, that was in the 20s around thing.
Yeah, I think I dropped it late 20s, early.
Yeah. How are we feeling about Inu Brothers CGI?
It's fine. It's not terrible, but it also ain't great.
Yeah, I think that's I do like how shiny it is, and I do I'm glad that they immediately was okay, avatar change, and you also get that cute puppet shot with his head. Yeah, and also also the Ryusoul change where Kiji Brothers oh, is this for girls? I'll work with it.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a lot of that.
Yeah. It's best already I'm just so endeared to the two CGI boys. I already want
to said that would be really great because have you watched Battle Fever J?
Not yet.
Okay, because it was the first Sentai with a mecha, there's a running gag where Battle Kenji Obada's character, every time the monster grows, he's like, "Really? Still? We're doing this? Okay." Every episode he comes up with a different way to bitch about the monster growing. And I would love it if they make a running gag out of the Pink Ranger suits being for girls in Donbrothers. Just every episode he's like, "Could I get one that doesn't have a skirt?"
I feel like he's already comfortable with it, so I don't think that will be a gag, and that could get old very easily.
Fair enough. Though it would make it so worth it when he gets to decorate.
Yeah, although a running gag I do hope they keep is Momotaro's inspirational speeches. I'm a sucker for those. Please keep doing them. And I love how it's different from the last episode's speech. So they're writing new speeches each episode, and that's amazing. And just man, I love Don Momotaro's entrance. I already knew, oh, this gonna be a great character. And then the more I see of him, I'm hooked. This honestly, I've not felt this hyped about Sentai since I first got into Sentai with Q Range. Honestly. So I'm probably being biased. It might be the new show smell. It might be the Inoue. It might be because I really like the designs. I don't know.
I feel like it's just that we have very opposite tastes.
Yeah, that too. I'm just being a big Donbrothers show.
It's fine. It's fine. You like what you like. I like what I like.
Mecha Fight was okay. I felt like there was at times it could have gotten I'm not a fan of when they do CGI monstrosities for the monsters. I felt like it worked better last episode.
It did remind me of, fittingly enough, the second episode of Tokuger, because they do a big CGI train chase in that.
Oh yeah, because it is a Tokuger monster. Also, just a cute detail. I just love how at the end Kaito is just mixing the gears together with I don't know why, just that little detail. Just that's what a kid would do, and I'm just that.
Yeah, it's a good visual.
Yeah. Yeah, the ending theme still bops. Please release a full version or a TV-sized version soon. I can't find a clean version anywhere. But yeah. What else? Yeah, I'm just really hooked on Donbrothers.
Apparently, we've talked about it for twice as long as any other episode.
The finisher! I forgot to mention the team finisher, where it's everyone's cranking the thing, cranking the thing, and the monster, and then they just move it they go, everything turns dark, and then the flash, and then the splitting colors. It's oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it was fine.
I'm sorry, just everything about this show is just appealing to my sensibilities. It's just, man, I'm so excited to see the team somewhat fully formed next episode. Oh, yeah, I mentioned the villain. He's kind of he's just kind of I'm the bruiser guy, which is I like his acting
Wait, you mean a new member of the Evil Sentai?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I feel or even from the promotional materials, you're gonna be the most boring one, aren't you? And that's unfortunately, it's
You will die first.
Yes, unfortunately. Unless they pull a Julio Tamaki, and they're like, oh, let's give him
Speaking
death.
of which, where the fuck is Tamaki? He hasn't been in like the last 3 episodes of Revice.
That's a good point. All right,
I just realized that.
Yeah, speaking of Kamen Rider, want to bitch about an old Kamen Rider movie that's like 7 years old at this point? God.
Oh yeah, so like I was digging through my Tokusatsu drive of shit I haven't watched yet, trying to look for something to watch last night, and I was like, oh, what can I watch? Hibiki? Nah. Kiba? Nah. Double? Fuck that. Black? Fuck that. Deno? Maybe. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. Oh, I remember this. I remember when this movie was getting announced and there was press and trailers for it and it seemed super exciting and promising. Let's watch Kamen Rider Number 1, the 45th anniversary movie that came out during Kamen Rider Goes.
I know you've been talking about watching this movie for a while. Go ahead.
So, like, Buster, do you know what a geezer teaser is?
I know what a geezer is. What the hell's a geezer teaser?
Geezer teaser is like, you know how you go to like Redbox or you'll be scrolling through a streaming service and you'll see a movie with a poster that like has an old action star's face plastered on it very prominently, and then you watch the movie and they're in like 10 minutes of it and they barely interact with the rest of the cast.
Is that what Kamen Rider Number 1 is?
It comes dangerously close to being that. Like, Hongo is in, I'd say, about 50% of the movie, but everything with him feels so different from the rest of the movie. And I think that's because I seem to remember in the lead up towards this movie, they said he was given a degree of, or Hiroshi Fujioka was given a degree of creative control with this movie. I think he got to improvise his dialogue. Like, okay. I think they told him this is the idea of what we want to do in this scene. You fill in the gaps, like how they do with pro wrestlers. And I think he improvised most of his stuff because all this stuff with him, all his fight scenes, because Fujioka does most of his own stunts in this movie. There's a few scenes where I could tell there was a body double, but like it looks like it's mostly him. And it's all pretty solid, though it doesn't look like he's overexerting himself. Yeah. And all of his dialogue is like Hongo to a T. But
okay, for the writer of the movie, like Inoue. Speaking of Inoue, he mainly wrote this, and Hiroshi Fujioka is credited with a writer. Now, apparently, I could be wrong. I mean, apparently, Fujioka wanted, like, the only reason he wanted to, like, be in the writing seat is because he wasn't happy with how Heisei vs. Showa went for it.
Yeah, and I'll say this, like, the way Takaru earns Hongo's respect is way better than what they did with Kota earning Hongo's respect in that movie.
You're Ghost over Gaim?
I know, but like it's only slightly better. Like it's not completely stupid. It's something that makes sense, but it also feels tonally distant from the rest of the movie because another thing about this movie is this movie feels like 2 or 3 scripts mashed together. Like there's a whole shocker infighting plot at the same time as like there's a thing about Hongo having to take care of Tachibana's daughter and the Ghost crew are like in their own movie half the time. It's very weird and tonally dissonant, and like whenever those plots intersect, it always feels super awkward. Like there's legitimately one scene, like not even 5 minutes into the movie, where there's just a shocker grunt and a Nova shocker grunt having a bar fight, and I literally had to take a step back and go, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Sounds like this movie would be better if it was structured like an old movie war, where it's like 3 parts and then the final where everything comes together. Like you get like a prologue of the Shocker, then the Hiroshi Fujioka bit, then like a mini movie of Ghost, and then like they all come together at the end.
Also, like I know this movie is like I think you said it's 7 years old now.
Yeah, 2016.
But, like, this movie was heavily marketed on this might be the death of Hongo Takeshi. This might be his final journey. Like, look at this funeral pyre. Oh, no. Yeah, it's a big fucking fake out. And it's extremely silly and stupid because it's just, like, halfway through the movie, he starts, like, feeling tired and sick. And, like, and everybody's like, oh, no, his body is worn down from all the years of fighting. but like the way Fujioka plays it, it just looks like he has heartburn.
I mean, heartburn
And
does
then
suck.
when he does actually die, he does die in a fight with some Nova Shocker people. But like when he does die and they put him on the funeral pyre, like his body is not even charred, and the Ghost Riders are like, "All right, I guess we're gonna go to the climax now. See you later, Tachibana's granddaughter." And then like, while they're gone, and she starts getting emotional, the fucking Phoenix Force from Marvel Comics resurrects him.
Okay.
Like dead ass, that's what it looked like. They don't say it's that, but like the way it's animated, it looks like that. And him coming back is just really hold on one second. Sorry about that. Like another big point of contention with this movie at the time, I think, was the new suit design. I like the kind of samurai looking Rider one. I think it's a cool suit design. The bike is maybe a little too cruisery for my taste. And like all the new Shocker design or the Nova Shocker designs, all of those are trash. They look like they're made for a fan film.
How's Buff Hongo? What's your opinions on that?
But Buff Hongo is the Samurai Rider one. I think it's a good suit design. It's very fitting for a modern reinterpretation of Rider One. And
like I do wish they brought it back at least for like a scene in Senki, but I understand why I understand that Senki's supposed to be like this is supposed to be like him plucked from 1971. So that makes sense.
I would love it if he comes back for like another movie war proper and like has a big stake in a plot again. Like do like they did in Heisei versus Showa during that final transformation he has, where it like goes through all the different versions of the suit. Do that again, but with Buff Hongo.
Yeah, like it would maybe like a Sakamoto-esque like blitz for like from like the first Heisei gen, where it's like all the riders in that movie had like a blitz like transformation.
Yeah, that would be cool. Overall though, I would not recommend this movie. It's like the ghost characters are pretty much as insufferable as ever if you don't like Ghost, and they're a huge chunk of the movie. And like I said, all of Hongo's dialogue is great, but like it's one of those things where it's like it's great, but you could just watch a supercut of it and get the same experience or get a better experience. Like on a whole, this movie is a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I do glad that he came back for Senki.
Yeah.
So like especially because even though we had one scene in Senki, I feel like that was a very powerful.
Oh, it was the best scene in the movie for me.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But no, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh yeah. The reason I brought up geezer teasers is there's one point where I directly spotted them using a geezer teaser technique, which is there's a scene early on where they're like at a waterfront talking to Tachibana's granddaughter, and like it's not like Senki obvious, but Hongo is obviously standing on a green screen, and all the other characters are actually there. It's just in that scene, so it was clearly a scheduling conflict thing. But I was just like, whoa, that's really fucking weird that they did that. Okay.
Yeah. Like this was like the last spring movie until Cho Tyson after the year after this, and then we kind of stopped doing movies.
Yeah, and I would say Cho Tyson is a step down from this, mainly because that movie just feels like nonstop noise.
It's a direct-to-video sequel. It's like definitive direct-to-video sequel. Literally, even the title, where it's just like there's no subtitle. It's just super, because it's like
here's another one of these kids.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it was the first Tyson. Like, I was there for the hype cycle of it because I got into Toku around the X8 Curator era. But man, and like, there is a lot of great ideas in there. But man, it doesn't all mesh well. I do think there is a version of Cho Superhero Tyson that I like, but we're not living in that universe.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much everything. So, Buster, why don't you go ahead and tell the people where they can find your content?
Sup, I'm Buster Corp. I do video analyses on the internet. I recently finally made a video again. Power Rangers Zeo. That Power Rangers Zeo show we've been talking about the last few weeks? I made a video on it. It's 13 minutes. Go watch it. Boingo edited it. Please watch it. I really want you to watch it because I want to do more content. Yeah, if you want to see what kind of thoughts are in my brain outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter at BusterBully3, and I'm also at Twitch and Kowfi. So, yeah.
Hey, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make videos about tokusatsu and toys. You can find me at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter, tweeting and twatting about every little thing that pops into my head, except for this day where I had to hold back quite a large rant that I want to give on Sunday. So subscribe if you want to hear that. I'm at the Vacuuminator on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram posting figures of action figures and my dogs at _Vacuuminator. But folks, that finally does it for this week in Tokusatsu. So we'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.